Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to some really interesting news. I've seen this reported on Wrestling Inc. and it's connected to the WWE Business Summit that took place a few weeks ago. There was a few people that spoke at that summit and Triple H was one. He was talking about NXT and how they want to set up hubs all over the world for NXT and then have those hubs feed into Raw and feed into SmackDown Live. They tried something here in the UK with the United Kingdom Championship and of course the United Kingdom Championship Tournament. That helped create stars like Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, Mark Andrews, Wolfgang, the list goes on. But all these names came through that tournament. And the plan was to have a weekly show on the network, which I'm sure they will still do, but it's just not been, sorted out yet. There's a lot going on behind the scenes to set that up, and I'm sure that they will do it. So yeah, he wants something in Japan, he wants something in Mexico, he wants something Saudi Arabia. They did tryouts there when they had the greatest Royal Rumble. We've got Australia having their own show at the end of the year, and I'm sure they'll do tryouts there. And the plan really is ultimately to set up hubs all over the world that feeds into the main roster. Very cool, very big ambition, and that is going to take a lot of work. Stephanie, though, was talking about storytelling, and she was talking about the fact that WWE in the 80s was all Americana. It was Hulk Hogan, it was Stars and Stripes, it was Sergeant Slaughter, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, USA chants, all that kind of stuff. And then the enemies, the heels, were people like the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, people that hated the USA. And then in the 90s, it moved away from that a little and it became more the anti-hero. So you had like Stone Cold Steve Austin feuding with his boss, Mr. McMahon. And that rivalry is easily one of the best rivalries in wrestling history. Stone Cold very much kind of sticking up for the working man. Very similar actually to how Dusty Rhodes did, back in the day. In the 2000s, we moved on to the underdogs. So you had people like Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, obviously doing, fantastic things, achieving fantastic things, things which they shouldn't have achieved, but they, upset the odds. And obviously more recently, Daniel Bryan, who, was labelled a B-plus player, but went on to main event WrestleMania, winning the WWE Championship. And now we're at the point where Steph says that WWE is really looking at being relevant and embracing pop culture. So what that means is that they don't want to be a little wrestling company on the side. They don't want to be a company that just caters to wrestling fans. They want to be mainstream. And we're starting to see that in things like Total Divas, Total Bellas. Obviously, there's been a few times where WWE have brought in Superwoman from YouTube, who's got like millions and millions of subscribers, and her audience isn't primarily wrestling fans. In fact, her audience isn't really wrestling fans. She caters to everybody. So they've, tried to tap into that. I saw that like James Corden's parents came down to see WWE like the other year, and I think they were on the James Corden show in America as a result. I've seen Stephanie when she's come over to the UK be on UK TV shows, and it's clear they're trying to really get out there onto the mainstream shows, like Good Morning America and all that kind of stuff. They are trying to be mainstream. So as a result, that will surely mean you'll see and continue to see more celebrities being used. So, people that are really achieving things and making headlines, that is what WWE is looking at, and that is what they want to work with. Obviously, Ronda Rousey was an absolutely perfect fit. They would surely love Conor McGregor. if they could just make that deal work. I'm not sure they could. I'm not sure they've enough money to make that deal work. But yeah, it's really interesting as to, you know, could we see a return of like Raw general managers? Maybe that's an idea that they would entertain. I don't think it really worked last time, but again, it's very interesting to think that WWE are looking at pop culture, they're looking at relevancy, and they're trying to do whatever they can to tick those boxes. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What could WWE do to embrace pop culture? What is it that you would like to see? Who would you like to see work with WWE? Because I do think this is very interesting. If that's where storytelling is going. Obviously, you want to see trained people in the ring, but there's no reason as to why they can't bring people in that don't compete in the ring. You could bring someone in as a special guest ref, as a manager, anything, you know. I thought how they used Mike Tyson back in the day was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, we could see people like Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, if you want to look at the boxing world. I don't know. I think this is very interesting stuff, and I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.